All right. Excellent.
Had you thought of that?
I know. I almost forgot.
All right. So let me start.
One more quick thing, that chat is also good for as we are going along. You can type in your questions in there. Lynn is going to be going through her PowerPoint. So if you think of a question, put it in there, and we will have 10 minutes at the end to address questions.
All right, so I'm going to do a little screen share here. And okay, so let's see. Can everybody see Lynn Kleiner and Coach Ann? Do you see that on your screens? Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, sorry.
Oops.
Hi.
What?
Hi.
Wow.
Just going to make sure we're good here real quick. One moment.
Oh my goodness, it's so great to see so many of you.
I know, I'm so excited. All right, let's.
Yay. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm like, right now I'm just hanging out with like my favorite people in the world. All right, so today we're doing tips on classroom management and hanging out with our friends. Woohoo, time with our members. All right, so everybody see that on your screen? My friend Kristen's looking a little concerned. Kristen, hello. Do you see it?
Thumbs up if you do.
Yeah?
Awesome.
Okay, so first of all, I want to show what's new for you, because sometimes there's really great ideas, great questions that members will ask, and then we realize, oh, we could make this area better for you by whatever that question was. So the members comparison chart, we have updated that chart, and we're just sometimes discovering that some members are not aware of all the benefits and resources that are available to you. And so we want you to be able to look at that membership comparison chart and see all of what is available to you. And then if you can't find, like, well, I don't even know what you're talking about with this one, please ask, to just go to Music Box and click Ask Lynn. So for the membership comparison chart, it'll start with, okay, you're just the subscriber. Oh, you're the Music Box member. Oh, you're the Music Rhapsody member, where you get absolutely everything. So that can be found in the online training, which as Music Rhapsody members, you have access to that all the time, 100%. You always have online training. So if you click in your teacher area, go in your teacher area, click on online teacher training, you have this year's training book. You should see right below that the membership comparison chart. And that will show you all your Music Rhapsody benefits. And then if there's anything, like I said, if there's anything there that you're not sure where that is, what that is, you may not have it, just don't hesitate to ask. We're really here because we want to share. We want you to have these things, and we feel bad when we find out that there's a member who never knew they had all the recordings of all the lessons. So please take a look at that chart, because it's been updated. And it's going to look like that. So now I also have it on Music Box. So if you go to the Music Box homepage, you can find the same chart there as well. And that's on the right-hand side, right below the little video tour. So it's called what? Membership?
It's called membership, and it says find out more about membership perks. And that's on the right-hand column.
Okay, so you can also find this chart there. So that's what it looks like, so you found the right document. All right, what's new for you? Checky Morena, this came from a teacher request. Checky Morena, new document. The cup game is now in notation. So you see when to clap and when to hit the cups. And if you don't know Checky Morena, I don't know why you don't, because the most favorite. I mean, it's great for preschool, it's great for 5th grade, it's great for recorder, it's great for dance, it's great for ORF, it's great for Mommy and Me classes. So you should know Cheque Morena from Spanish Music Rhapsody. But the document is in both music box. It's you can just do a search for Cheque Morena, but it's also in your online training. So Music Rhapsody members, you all have access to online training. Just go to that area. It's in your teacher login area. Click on online training. You'll see Cheque Morena, and you'll see the cup game that is right there at the end of that document that will tell you how to play the dance game, the ORF, the recorder, and the cup game. And then there's a video to show you all of it. So check out the Cheque Morena video as well. We also have added that, that's in music box in the document, and then the live training video is in the online training area. What else is new for you? Rockabye Baby, this is another request if we could include the music notation. So again, you go to the online training materials and you'll see the title Rockabye Baby under the ukulele. This is the ukulele training videos. So now we've added the music notation with chords, so you can have the written notation and the chord chart that would go with your ukulele video. So we had a request for that, so that's all done. That's all for you there. You're gonna see a classroom management video today. This is gonna be a little more geared for your bigger people who are in a setting where you're having bigger classes in an elementary setting. That video is available now to you always. So we'll show it to you today, but then you can always get it online. And once again, you just go to the online training materials and you can watch the video again. So after our meeting today, you want to review right before school starts, just go right ahead. There's lots of classroom management discussions, blogs, forums in Music Box. So we'll talk a little bit more later what specifically is in there so that you know how to access that. What do you need going into your school year? First, you better have your class list, right? Because you want to be #1 goal. You got to learn those names, and there's a lot of names. So be sure before your first day that you have your class list. You want to have your microphone. And I'm going to have Coach Ann talk just a second about the importance and just her experience, why she had to have a microphone and why we sing longer.
Right. So as most of you probably know, if not all of you already know, when you are teaching, your voice is going to be under a lot of stress, and the more help you can get with it, the better. And so a microphone is such an essential need. For me personally, I'm a musician outside of the classroom, and you know, it's devastating when I've been teaching for 4 or 5 hours during the day and I'm not full voice at night when I have to perform. Or even when you're not full voice at the grocery store when you're talking to some random person, like your voice is who you are. So it's an investment in a better you for your health. And I mean, with that, you will adapt better voice taking care of techniques. But a microphone is essential.
Quality sound system. To have good classroom control, you definitely want to have the ability to hear your music and for the students to hear it, and that expectation that it's not the quality one, you have to listen harder or whatever. So it always makes a difference, I think, in classroom management when you have a nice, big, quality sound system.
And I do want to add on the sound system, especially in California. As music teachers, we are traveling from room to room. Sometimes we might have a classroom that has a sound system, but say on a day that it rains, at least for me, I have to go to the classroom when that's not normally what I do. So I like to have a Bluetooth speaker and that will sync up to, if you have an MP3 player, that you have your music on there. It's just something, it's a fail-safe, you can just keep with you. It's very wonderful. And then one other thing about the microphone that I want to say, like we have like the one that you wear around your belt. It's called a Chatterbox. So it's not like a microphone that you're holding with your hand and it has to go through the room stereo. It's just something very simple that you keep on your person. Just wanted to clarify that.
Yes, and there's a lot of discussion in Music Box about vocal health, because obviously you want to keep a healthy voice. You're going into, you know, another big school year, so you can check that out in Music Box. There's really very, very helpful discussions in there on vocal health and on the types of microphones. Sorry to say there's some really bad ones out there. I have bought one. I would not suggest the brand called Pyle, P-Y-L-E. So we're trying to spare you from the, you know, like get a good one, but we do talk about the Chatterbox. It's a pretty good workhorse. I mean, it lasts a long time. So
Yeah.
You can check that out for brand discussion. All right, then what do you need? Obviously, classroom management is about the lesson plan. That's number one. I mean, you're just not going to have good classroom management if you don't have that amazing lesson plan. So not just any lesson plan, but one that's got more than enough that you need for that time slot. The one that's full of variety, visuals, fun, learning, but it is all about the right input at the right time. So if you're, you know, going in with the right lesson plan that is developmentally appropriate, you know, you have a much better chance at good classroom management. And it's going to be so engaging for them that you're automatically going to cut down on your issues. Teachers get themselves into trouble when they're presenting things that are not the right level. Maybe they're too difficult and or not engaging for that particular age group. So that's just key, and that's what I love to do. So if there's teachers that have questions, what might be the best lesson plan for this particular environment, this particular age group, or this school that I'm just starting, you know, just click and ask, and I'd love to help. Your room setup, obviously, it's a little bit different how I'm going to set up the room for, the, you know, what I would do with my toddlers, what I do with my 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. I've done some room setups that, you know, at the beginning of my teaching didn't work. I want to spare you from that. So if you have questions after the video, even during the video, you can ask, because we're going to talk about room setup a lot in the video as well for that elementary age. The tools, tips, and tricks, that certainly depends on your age group, you know. I mean, I can have a lot of visuals that work with my Ks. You know, they're not going to fly with my 4th graders. So it depends on the age group, the size of the group, the setting of the group. But we have the same goal. It's that we're the highlight of their week. We're the highlight of their day. We want to be the best that's in their educational life. We want to have the bar raised so high for the maximum fun, engagement, for learning, but always musicality. So today we're going to focus on the bigger groups of the elementary setting. And this is a video from the live teacher training that happened just, let's see, end of June here in Redondo Beach. And it was our own one of our elementary teachers, music Rhapsody teacher, Adrienne Hensey. So we're going to just watch this video. If you have questions during the video, you can just type them in. You have your little chat there, you could type them in. And then when we're done, we'll have time to talk with you.
They're amazing, I love them. But
Here?
How do I adapt them for bigger classes? Typical for an elementary school, right? You go in, you go watch her teach her awesome students in your studio, and they're like, oh, it's so cool. But there's like 12, right? Or 6, right? And so how do you prepare for that very first music class using her awesome lessons?
So sorry.
For me, it's all about organizing your classroom space. Knowing where your students are going to go, and your students have to know where to go, and you have to do that in order to minimize every music teacher's biggest time waster. Dun, dun, dun. Transitions! Right? Make a circle. Make a circle. Make a circle. Right? And then it's like, go to the warp instruments. So transitions are just the biggest time waster ever, right? So what I recommend is your first thing you need to do is look at where you're at. Are you in a large auditorium? Are you in a smaller classroom? Are you on a cart? God bless you. Every teaching setting is different, but a general music classroom usually needs to be divided into 5 major areas. The kids are usually in 5 major different formations. First one, circle time, right? You have to know where the circle's going to be. Locomotor movement. Okay, this is when students are traveling throughout the space. They're not stuck to one spot. They're doing whatever we're doing, right? Where is that going to take place in your classroom? Do you know where it's going to take place? Is it going to be close to where you want them to make a circle? Is it in the same spot? Third, non-locomotor movement. I love having spots for them to do their movement or practice a dance where they don't necessarily travel. They have to have a set spot where it's their bubble, you know? You don't want them to touch anybody else. It's great for them to walk in and start doing body percussion or whatever, but they just can't touch anybody else, right? You want them to be separate from everyone. Yeah, they have their own spot, okay? And then the presentation of the lesson. This is where the meat of the lesson is presented to the students usually. Students have to be, in my world, they need to be seated in an organized way. So we can either pass out rhythm instruments, or listening to a story, or looking at a visual. For me, and having 25 first graders come up to look at my visual, I have to have them organized or it's just chaos, right? So that's the 4th one. And then with the presentation lesson, you have to figure out where your visuals are going to be in relation to where you want to do that presentation, right? So next is where you're going to put your warp instruments. Put them away from the door. Away from the door, because the first thing they'll do is they'll see the warp instruments and they'll go straight towards it, and it's just, right? So you want to keep them away from your door. So there's our 5 little areas, 5 little formations where our students are doing things. So I have found that the first 4, those areas can overlap, okay? And the warp instruments usually has its own space. For example, here's music classroom. See your door, your visual. Where would you put the warp instruments? This one? Here. Ding, ding, ding. Yay! Yep, that's where I would put them too, as far away from the door as possible. Right? Like pretty easy. Next, any way around that, it's your locomotor movement, right? Circle. Notice how the circle part, the locomotor movement, they overlap. You know, you don't have to have a separate place just for the circle. Non-locomotor movement spots. We have little spots for every single kid so they know where they're supposed to go. And then in front of the visual, I like having them seated in rows that are perpendicular to the visual. I'm just weird. Don't like it going that way, parallel, because then it's hard to like conduct two parts. You know, you 2 rows do the beat, you do the phrase endings, you know. It's easier for me to conduct it that way. That's just how I started to do it. But yeah, so those are all the different areas, right? once you figure out where everything's going to go, you have to figure out how you're going to mark it off. In order for it to run smoothly, it's important that you and your students know where those 5 areas begin and end, and any markings that are in your room have to designate the different areas very clearly and very consistently, because if it's not consistent, they will let you know. My number's not in the right tile, right? So it's, yeah, we'll talk about that. How you decide to mark off the areas in your classroom depends on your floor, okay? I love tile and wood floors because we can use my favorite things in the whole world, which are wet erase markers. They're not dry erase markers, they're wet erase markers. They come in different colors, they come in the thick tip. So when you put this on the floor, they can see it. They come in the thin tip, okay? They are awesome. I should buy stock in them because I buy so much of these. You can erase it with just a little bit of water. So if you make a mistake about where you put your marking on the floor, just take a little wet towel or a Swiffer. I go from school to school. At the end of my day, the engineer loves me because I keep a Swiffer in the closet and I just Swiffer it all up. You don't even know I was there. Always test a little spot first, but these have saved my life. Like, they really make everything so much easier. And the kids look for it too. They will know that they do that, it'll rub off, but you know, that's a whole other thing. So yes, love my wet erase markers. Carpeted areas, you can use colored tape or mailing labels. Mailing labels are my other favorite thing. Okay, I like mailing labels almost better than tape because I feel like they don't come off nearly as easily. They're pretty strong. They don't damage the carpet. You can use them. They're great. Next, when you're making your circle, my circles are never round. They're always lopsided. So what do? I make it into a square. You know, like, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time making a circle, I just make a square. Or if you have a rug, use a rug. Put your toes on the edge of the rug and now you've got a circle-ish formation where you can do your circle game, right? If you have tile flooring, I usually do a 12 by 12 and I just take my marker and I go right in between the pot and I go big squiggle mark. Put your toes on the squiggle. Okay. We're ready for a little circle game, right? If you have carpet, you make a square with your tape, right? So, remember our music room map? Now the circle becomes a square, and it's much easier to make, it's quicker to make, and it's quicker to fix. If you have a lot of different kids, maybe your bigger kids need to have a bigger square than your little kids. So sometimes I have 2 different colored squares. For my little ones, I'm like, go to the green one. My big kids, go to the black one, or whatever. So it helps so much to have the 2 different sizes. Marking off your locomotor. This is when they're traveling. You just have to separate that space from the ORF instruments. You don't want them to be running around your ORF instruments. You're getting too close. So I just put a simple line on the floor. Tape or marker, don't go past the red line, and they won't. Right? Now they know where that boundary is. So, that's what I would do if this was my classroom. I would just put a red right there on the floor. You don't have to do it all the way around the classroom. They know where they can run, right? But just marking off where they're able to run and move compared to where the ORF instruments are. Non-locomotor. This is the kind of the tricky one. If you have a big class, you always have to have more spaces available than what you have students, because otherwise you're going to have to switch kids if there's an issue with behavior. But if you just have extra, you can say, how about you just go here? You know, it just makes your life easier. Always have extra spots. Always have extra spots. For carpeted areas, use tape and put numbers on each tape. So now they're like, I'm at number 2, right? And that's their number, right? And you can keep that number the same for every single class for that little kid. Or, ta-da! Mailing labels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you put them down, maybe make up a whole bunch of these so that if, you know, little Jimmy decides to take off number 3, then in between classes you put number 3 down and fix it really quick. But these are awesome, awesome, awesome. And then if you have a tile floor, put their number on the tile, just right on the tile. It's fast and it's quick. So now we've got our squares where they're going to do their little circle time, and now those little spots become numbers. Now every kid can have their own number. Depending on your students, you might want to send them. Depending, you know, if your kids are really self-monitoring and they can handle it, they don't have to have their own number. For some of my classes, they don't need to. Some kids do need to. So you just have to know your kiddos. Then marking out the presentation of the area of the room, right? So students need to be in rows perpendicular to the visual. Each row is marked with A, B, C. I like to mark the rows. 4 to 6 rows is optimal. You can assign students places in the rows for faster transitions. And I like to post a seating chart for those forgetful classes who don't always know where they're supposed to go. So Sally always knows that she finds the A on the floor and sits down. Mary knows that she has to go behind Sally. And they just know where it is. And it's really, really, really helpful. And honestly, by the 3rd week, they got it. You don't even have to post it anymore. But I always have it available in case there's, yeah. So,
but
now,
my favorite part.
Yes, Lynn.
Maybe you're going to say this later. But go back to is that you take a picture of this. You take a picture of the children. You have their names. You have their rows. And you take a picture because you got to start learning these.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you want to do the numbers there and sign their numbers, then when they go to the other place on the number, and you're like, it's so, classroom management is so much more effective if you can say, Harvey, Harvey, where's your tape? Where's your number? You know, if you, because you have the number here and you have the number there,
yes.
Because it's just, for classroom management, if you don't have the names, and you've got 800 kids, it's a rough one.
Yeah.
So I love this. I love this chart and the idea of taking a picture and you can, you know,
you gotta
review for a second before they come in. There's that Harvey.
Yeah, exactly. So you ask the kids to come over to the visual. They know where their rows are. On the floor, I literally write A, B, C, D. And now they know what row they have to be in, you know. In one 3rd grade class I had this year, when they came in, they were supposed to be in rows. They had to have assigned seating in those rows because they made terrible choices about who they were sitting next to. By the end of the year, they didn't need to, and they felt really cool about that they were making really good choices. So it's also an area of growth for the kids too. And then, just other day one tips. Back to the mailing labels. I do this for every single class. Basically, I put their names and then I put their number on it too, and so that way they know when they come in, oh, I have to find number 1. Okay. It's just like super helpful. I had 585 kids that I saw this year, and it's a pain in the butt and it takes forever, but it has helped me learn their names so much faster. And if they have assigned seats, you just put their assigned number right there, and it just streamlines everything. I cannot tell you how much I love these name tags. Also, I'm kind of weird, and I like to imagine every kid when I write their name, because it helps me remember their names. Because it's like, for some kids, it's a big deal.
She's off the charts with the names. It's incredible.
I try really, really, really hard. Because if I can talk to that kid and use their name, then they know that they're not just one of 585 kids.
That's why I keep them in the rows and the names the whole time.
Yeah.
Because it's so... And the teacher she mentored a teacher, and it made all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
And he kept the kids in that same row in the A, B, C, D, E, and it really helped so much.
Take the time to do your seating arrangements right away. So for example, this is just what I did at one school. This was a kindergarten class, A, B, C, D, E, F, and I just wrote their names real quick. So then I had it made that first day. I knew who, I was like, I don't know you very well, but after seeing them work in an activity or two, I knew who I needed to put where. And I just made it right away. I just kept it all year long. Let me see here. Have students practice their transitions from a circle to their rows to their numbers. Make it a game, make it fun that first day. See if you can get into your rows without touching anyone else. Do it quietly, tiptoe. You know, try to get it done by the time I'm done doing my solo and my sopranito. You know, just stuff like that. And they just think it's hilarious. They're trying to do it quickly and quietly and everything. And but after you practice it a couple times, they understand. This is my number. This is my row. This is where the circle.
And I once had a class that could do it in 8.
Right.
And I'm thinking you guys, I don't know, but if anyone can beat that, it's you guys.
Right, exactly. Stuff like that. Make it a challenge. If you have a whole bunch of new students and learning their names could be hard, I have those little whiteboards that are just individual whiteboards, and I have the kids write their names on it and their room number, and then they get to come into the photo booth, which is just me with my phone, and then and then now I have it, you know, and like I'll look at that the night before to think, okay, who am I seeing tomorrow, you know, and now all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, those kiddos. So yeah.
So this for you, Lynn. Do you all have a contract with parents to have their consent to take their kids' picture?
We don't have a consent to like post them or use them,
but you can use them.
But
okay.
Yeah.
I'm only asking because the last organization I was with, we had to sign a consent.
Sure.
For them to take pictures.
Right.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
No, we cannot take a picture and put it up on Facebook
Yeah.
or something.
It's just for my
But to learn the names,
Okay.
yeah.
One quick question?
Yeah.
Start over with one for each class group. You're not doing a running number.
Oh, no. Because in each class, let's say that this was my classroom, I would just have numbers on the floor, you know, and then each new class would be a different kid for number 1, a different kid for number 2.
So you have to reset
And
that
painter's
stuff.
tape won't stick to carpet.
Painter's tape is not the best.
Yeah, well, I'm just, I
Yeah.
can't use any other tape.
Sometimes there is some tape that's better than others. I forgot.
Sticks to the carpet.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share, I discovered Velcro tape.
Oh,
So there's
yes.
a company called Sit Spot, and I stumbled upon them at the conference, and they have Velcro like icons, so they have like Velcro apples and Velcro stars, but they also make lines, and you order them by length, and by color, and by width, and those have safe.
Yeah,
So
good for
when I
you.
do lines, and I just use Velcro,
How
and
do you
they
spell that code? Is it
sit
S-I-T?
spots, like,
Just like zip?
yeah, sit spots, but I
S-I-T-S.
think it's one word, yeah, sit spots. It's amazing.
Yeah, we have them in the studio for that one rhythm reader class.
We're the real class.
That one class
Yeah.
has to have,
Yeah.
but yeah, they just Velcro to the
Yeah.
carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess Lynn was asking me about how do you explain your rules and your expectations. My rules are really simple. Be respectful to your teachers, your classmates, to the equipment. Be responsible and be safe. That's all. And then, you know, if those expectations are not being met, make sure that you have a consequence in place. You know, nothing punitive, just come over here and watch for something. You know, it's going to be punitive, especially in our situation because we're very lucky to be in the schools. You know, yeah. Thank you.
Adrian, knowing those kids' names, I mean, I've seen like our other elementary teachers not have this, just that same quick bonding. Adrian is like that with the staff as well, like knowing their names and communicating with them. I don't think I ever had like so much feedback so quickly from a new teacher placed at one of our new elementary schools as with Adrian. Like, I mean, she bonded so quickly to the children and bonded so quickly with the staff that it was just,
amazing to see, you know, and the names is, I mean, it's just,
Well, you get what you put in it, right? So, you know, I put a lot of time into it, and so I get that all back, you know, so it's pretty awesome.
All right, so I hope you got a helpful tip or two. She has certainly inspired us with how fast she can learn those names. So signing the numbers is awesome. Let's see. Yeah, go ahead. We have
a comment from Denise. She said that gym teacher tape is good too. So that is a very good tip for marking off those areas. Thank you, Denise. Yes.
sit spots. Oh yeah, yeah, Jeannie. Yeah, sit spots are great.
Smart Seat,
Smart Seat.
an app for pictures.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'm gonna mark that down. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, Jeannie, stick the information on that in Music Box.
Yeah, definitely.
Share it with us in Music Box. That's great. All right, so you know if you go to Music Box, you can use the search feature and put in classroom management, and you will get all kinds of things. You will get a video. It's a video called Classroom Management with Lynn. You'll get some more tips, not so much the room setup, but more techniques during your lesson. Kindergarten music challenges, so tips for success when you're working with 4, 5, and 6-year-olds. There's a blog in Music Box. Again, these are things that come up just by you typing in classroom management at that search at the top of the page. The classroom management document discusses play, don't say. That's where, you know, we're using the finger symbols to put the mallets down, or we're using the cowbell to do echoes. We're using the sopranino to do improvisation. Little signals that you would use instead of talking it all out. Say, don't do, like clap your hands 6 times. Stamp your feet 8 times. You're not showing them, you're just saying it. Put one hand on your shoulder, put one hand on your nose. Take the hand that's on your shoulder, put it behind your back. Take the one that's on your nose, put it on your shoulder. You know, that kind of things, just to get the listening tuned into you. Do the unexpected, don't be predictable. Announce the challenge. Ooh, I usually do this with 5th grade, but I'd really like to try it with you 4th graders, because you got everything so far in this lesson. Let's just try this next step, or whatever. Some kind of challenge to make them really especially focus and be determined to accomplish it. Using, of course, transition songs. You've all taken the training, so you know what I'm talking about there. Use the observation deck. I love this. I just was with some really good buddies who I actually see one right now in Kansas. Yeah, so I loved being with you in Kansas. But one teacher said, use the observation deck, because I'd say, well, just, you know, we don't have a place here where you pull the hands, but just watch and see how it works. And she said, go to the observation deck. So I thought that was I was like, okay, I'm going to take that. Yeah, but nip those problems immediately. Name games and other little games to learn the names. That'll be great. Again, you'll find that name games in the Music Box blog and forums. Music Box download articles. I highly recommend student rules and teacher guidelines. Most of you know this. For me, these are just things that I review, my teachers review. The Young at the Bars and why I like to use the sopranino. Those are just nice reminders starting a new school year. This is just because I'm so super excited. I am so thrilled that I finally have this book done. And Coach Ann here was such a huge part of getting this project done. And I know a lot of you are from all over the world, actually. But September 28th here in LA, I am going to do a workshop and we'll be presenting some of my favorites from this book, and then some others too that are just nice for putting together your holiday concerts. So we do have a request to make that available by recording as well. But just want to put that out in case you want to visit me in LA. September 28th up in Pasadena at the beautiful Pasadena Conservatory. All right, so now, are there any questions?
Any questions? Oops, I can't do that. Whoop. But if you want to take this time to type in a question, we probably maybe a couple more minutes. If you have a question, otherwise, you can, if you think of one later, you can go into the music box and definitely type it in there, and we will get back to you. And it's just a wonderful place for everyone to see. Maybe someone else has your question.
And for us to hang out together. I love when teachers like will start a discussion and you'll jump in there with your ideas too, because I always learn so much from you too. So chime in.
So is the training open to all the same as today?
Is the train like the online training materials? The online training area? Is that what we're talking about? The training area in the teacher area?
Comment to the session like this. So like, is this,
Oh, okay. The training video is there right now. So
yes.
that portion that we did by video, yes.
Are, if you are a Music Rhapsody member, which I believe everyone, maybe a couple are not, that is here, you always have access to that, so you can go online and see the video that we saw today. Oh, we discussed the classic microphone a little more. We had a wireless last year. It only lasted a couple of months. Is Chatterbox the brand you use? So it's called Chattervox with a V. So Chatter and then Vox, V-O-X. Yeah, and that is not wireless. It connects to like
A little mini speaker that you wear around your waist. You see it, like in the video you saw me wearing it. It's just a little speaker that straps around my waist.
and the microphone like hooks over your ear and comes in front of your mouth. I've been using it going on 7 years. Same one, still works great.
Yeah, mine is probably about maybe 12, 13 years old. So, and I use it all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
it travels with me everywhere. So yeah, very, very durable. But go into Music Box and look for microphone, look for, you know, vocal health, voice tips, healthy voice. You'll find all kinds of things, but we do discuss the brands in there.
Always trying to understand where to start at what age level for the lessons with a class
I'm here.
4-year and 5-year-olds. So is that, oh, so sorry, one moment. We have, if you want to talk about that real quick, Lynn.
So let's see, I can't see the very
It
year.
is
There we
right
go.
there.
Understand where to start at the age level for less. Is this a mixed age? I'm wondering, is this a mixed age class that that you're referring to, Jeannie?
You can type in the chat and confirm that's separate classes.
Separate. Well, yay, yippee. That's great. I love to have them, if I can have them even in smaller age groups, that's all the better. So as far as the lesson plans in your member area, I would look at definitely the Kids Make Music would be a great place for your 3-year-olds. And I even have some people that start with toddlers make music, but those materials for Kids Make Music will be great for your 3s. Your 4s, I would look at, again, the Kids Make Music, but also the lessons for the big Kids Make Music. Definitely by the 5-year-old class, I would do the ORF activities with either the big kids, or you can look at the videos to see if this is the right level for you. But I would look at also the young musicians. So by the time they're in the 5-year-olds, you would have, that would be their 3rd year. By their 3rd year, they're on the ORF instrument.
All right, we have another, we have a couple requests to talk about the new book.
I want to talk about the new book.
Right before that, are the wireless mics more finicky? Just because they are wireless,
Okay.
I would say to go with
Here's
wire.
the thing with the wireless. I love Bluetooth. I have a wireless Bluetooth mic. Works amazing with my Bluetooth speaker. But then if my music is also Bluetooth, they cancel each other out. So if you want to go with a Bluetooth mic and a separate speaker, that will work. But then you can't have your music on Bluetooth. So that's the only thing with that wireless. For me, I only have a wireless mic that is a Bluetooth mic, and it's great, but you just can't have both. They haven't invented that, I guess. I hope you saw the little video preview of the new book. If you did not, please go to Music Box, and the video is there. It gives you just a tiny bit of preview for that. I think it shows maybe 3 animated little clips of songs, and we'll let you hear maybe 5 or 6 little snippets of recording. The thing I'm excited about the new book, it's not just the book, it's the digital resources. So there's a digital resource center that goes with the book, and there you will have videos, you'll have really some awesome visuals. We had some great artists that did drawings for us to help the children remember the words to the verses, or just to inspire them. Some of the songs are really super creative if you can start by showing them the picture and telling them the real story. So there's things that are true, like talking about Subnivian, the land under the snow, where the little ones live, you know. Little ones under the snow, they dig tunnels to help them go. And it's true, this little world where they dig tunnels and they build a bathroom and a kitchen and a pantry, and these mice and voles really do that. And you can show them the picture and inspire them learning about what's just true and amazing about nature. And then it inspires them to sing solos. We have movement, we have Orff instruments, and of course, predators, because they love to come out and go for a little run, and then predators are after them. So I joke that is the Larry the Lobster winter activity. So those of you who are in love with Larry the Lobster, like most of us are for our ocean theme, this is the Larry the Lobster winter version of that, where we have little ones under the snow, and when they come out, they have to watch out for the hawk or the fox. Okay, anything else?
What is
I would get rid of them. I would not want chairs. I don't know why I would want chairs. I don't use chairs. I don't use chairs. I can't think of why I would want them. I would say, can you please remove them? I would do everything to get rid of them. There's too much dance and movement, creative movement, folk dancing, recorder. My recorder rookies, we're moving. We're not sitting in chairs for recorder. I think they sit too much. I think they need to move. So.
You have no separate classes for each age.
Oh, lovely, lovely. So that's, welcome to the Montessori world, right? So we definitely have classes that are like that in some of our Montessori schools, where it's a bigger mixed age. Or if you're starting your own studio, that happens too, that you try to make the age group just a little bit bigger. So you have enough for a class, and you're going to take maybe a wider, open it up to a wider age level. So yes, you just have to kind of go teach to either the middle, or if it's young children, I will not do Orff with, like if I have 2 and 3-year-olds, I'm not going to get out the Orff instruments. They're just too expensive. There's too much structure, too many rules for them. So I would be teaching more to the younger ones, but always trying to raise the bar and put some challenges for the older ones.
A question. Last year I used rhythm readers for my 2nd graders, but I'd like to move it down to 1st this year and try melody makers with 2nd. what ages are you teaching on the training videos for those 2 levels?
Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is great if you do rhythm readers with first grade, but if your rhythm readers and if your second graders have not had rhythm readers, then you do rhythm readers for both grades. Okay, so you don't want to do melody makers until your second grade has had melody makers. And so then the first graders next year will go from rhythm readers beautifully into melody makers. Now, in my schools, typically we would be doing rhythm readers in first grade and melody makers in second grade and recorder rookies in third grade. But I have some schools that start it the year afterwards, and you could do that too. In the videos that you're watching, the rhythm readers is actually kindergarten, just because those kids have been with us year after year after year already in the studio.
Online training 2 summers ago are the new things in my teacher area also. If you are a Music Rhapsody member, then yes. So we are updating the online training all the time, and if you are a member, those updates are for you as well. So you will see those. And then
Yes, for the band teacher, of course. Yeah, I hope they stack. I hope they do.
yes.
That'd be great.
In my basement classroom with 2 poles, I have the contrabass bars separated from the other. Move exit across the circle in the center of my room to other side of room. Is there a better way?
Yeah. Jennifer, we should talk about that. That room, we've been talking about that room for a long time, Jennifer. I don't know why they have to still have those poles there. No, I know that is always been your big challenge. Yeah. I think we need to, we're actually running out of time here. So we're gonna have to wrap it up, but Jennifer, you and I can have a conversation about your lovely room challenge.
Yes, and then classroom management ideas to get them to instruments. So those are the ORF rules that we have.
Right.
Yes.
Right. The ORF rules, that's in Music Box. So please, if you had questions that were not answered, you can go to Music Box, just click Ask Lynn Questions. And you are my best friends. Thank you for coming. It's been great to see you. Now we have a special little wheel here that we're going to run to pick a winner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what I would love is that some people might have not shown up. So if you do win, please comment a bunch of exclamation points so we know that you're here. Okay, in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna click the wheel.
Jeannie!
All right, so
yeah, she's here. Okay, so you'll win a $10 gift certificate for either the teacher store, the Music Rhapsody member store, or the Music Rhapsody shop. So we are going to email you. Let's see, has she put her email? I don't see her yet, but I know you're with us.
Yes, she did comment a bunch of exclamation points.
All right, so we're going to send you your information to get your gift certificate. So yay. All right, we're going to do one more.
All right, let's do it. So, found this awesome thing on here. Here we go.
Woohoo!
Carla, are you here? Bunch of exclamation points if you are. I hope
Come on, Carla. Come on.
I think I see you. Wave your hand. Yes, she is here.
Yay, Carla.
Awesome.
All right, Carla. So just confirm your email in the chat. We're going to send you the certificate as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we go back to our Or goodbye.
Oh,
Thank you, teachers. Uh-oh.
Oh, where'd it go? Oh, well, let's,
There we go. Okay. All right. And there we go. Thank you, members. Thank you. It was so great to see you. And I'll see you in the box. Just ask away. And if you can make it to LA September 28th, that would be fun. Otherwise, I'll video it just for you. Okay? All right.
all right.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. See ya.
Happy new school year.